when it hasn't been your day, your week, your month, or even your year. I'll be there for you. When the rain starts to fall, I'll be there for you. Like I've been there before. I'll be there for you. 'Cause you're there for me too. I'll be there for you. I'll be there for you. I'll be there for you. 'Cause you're there for me too.
All right. Hi, guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Well, I'm going to take a moment to introduce myself in case you don't know who I am. My name is Liz Imperio. I'm actually from Los Angeles, California. And before I continue on, I actually think it's absolutely worth giving these amazing legacies a round of applause. Because I mean, if you start adding the years of their experience, you know, that's a lot of years. That's a lot of experience. That's a lot of stories. And a big part of what we do is teach. And that's something I am extremely proud to be a part of. I have been on the dance circuit. And when I say dance circuit, from when I actually started as a dancer, I started at a very young age, very much like your dancers. And when I was 14 years old, I was very, very fortunate to be discovered by Kenny Ortega. When I was 14 years old, I was brought on to assist. Didn't know what the word assist even meant. I had no idea what it meant. All I knew was 5, 6, 7, 8, dance, go. That's all I knew. And as time went on, I was taught how to be an assistant through experience, as we all learned to become teachers through experience. As I got older, I went from assisting to choreographing. I was able to choreograph my very first world tour when I was 20 years old. And it was for Gloria Estefan's comeback world tour. Kenny was getting ready to direct his first movie, Newsies, and he couldn't do the world tour. So he gave me a call and he said, "Hey, Liz." "Oh, Kenny, what's up?" "Hey, what are you doing for like the next 3 to 4 months?" "Well, for you, I'm open. What do you need?" "Hey, Gloria and Emilio asked if you would be willing to, and I endorsed you for this, but they want to know if you will choreograph and direct her world tour." What? What did you say? Did you say you want me to direct and choreograph a, a, a world tour for Gloria Estefan, conga lady? He's like, "Yes. She loves working with you. She wants you to come in and choreograph her world tour." "I can't, but I trust you." That moment changed my life in so many ways. From there, I went to directing and choreographing 2 more world tours for Gloria, so 3 total. 2 world tours for Madonna, 2 world tours for Jennifer Lopez. Worked with Jennifer for over 13 years. At that point, by the same year that I actually choreographed for Gloria, I booked my very first time teaching on a dance convention. Some of you might recognize it. It was Jackie Slights. It was LA Underground before it became LA Dance Magic. So by the time I was 21, I was in arenas and in venues I had never experienced before. Talk about eye-opening. Talk about opening up a path. And I mention this not because I'm trying to toot my experience. That's not what this is. It's the fact that at some point we have to recognize, what is it that we do? What? So, talk to me. What do you do? Inspire leaders. What else do you do? Teach dancers to become better humans. Absolutely. What else? Grow character. Hold therapy sessions. Teach life skills and mindfulness. So far, we haven't even gotten to dance steps. And that is what we do. To me, everyone's what is the seed that we plant in our life. And it all started with dance. That was the seed that was planted. The what. Now, what do we do with our what? Well, I love to dance. I love being on stage. Great. I'm not always a fan of how I feel the first time I put anything up on stage, but I bear it and I just talk myself into just, let's do this. You can do this. And that becomes our what. Our what, our what. We dance, we dance, we dance, we dance, we dance. At some point, that what turns into a how. As a teacher, you planted a new seed. You grew from your what to your how to even a why. Why is probably one of the last things that we ever think about. You know, when I first started dancing, I was very fortunate to have a mom who was also a professional dancer when she was younger. She was part of the National Ballet of Cuba. And all I ever wanted to be was a prima ballerina. That's it. Well, clearly, I never got there. But my love for dance was not something that my mom took lightly. She knew that dance was going to be something that was going to set me on a path of a version of greatness. What version that was going to be, that was not going to be for her to be determined. It's a matter of making sure that the path was in front of me for me to discover what can I do with it. And my love for dance, my what, my why, took a long time for me to develop. Because when we're young, it's all about you. Come on, you're juniors, Your juniors are like, watch me, watch me, watch me. Stop it. Stop it. Do you see me? Do you see me? You gotta love the little ones, man. They remind you about fire. They remind you about excitement. They remind you how much energy dance literally charges you with. But when we're young, that why is more about you, right? It's our why. Why? Because I love being on stage. Why? Because I love the applause at the very end of the performance. That's a why. And when I saw Alicia Alonso, I wanted that to become my why. I didn't want to be a core dancer. No. If I'm going to put this time and effort and energy, my goal, prima. I wanted prima. I wanted the flowers, the curtain calls, the bravo. I wanted all of that. That was my why. And I expressed this because in every person's life, we have to identify the what, we have to identify the how, and we most definitely need to identify the why. Well, we all understand what we do. That's a dancer. How we do it, we're going to train. What does that look like? Well, we're going to be training a lot of hours. It's going to come with a lot of excitement, a lot of disappointment, a lot of pain, a lot of celebrations, a lot of aha moments. It's what's going to happen. How we train? Well, that's based on what do I bring to the room when I walk in? Do I bring intention? Do I bring purpose? Do I bring questions to help myself improve what I do? Or do I stand there and take class and listen to what I'm told and just hope that maybe one day it shows up? What changes the game for anyone is their why. The what to the how to the why. I'm going to say that a lot this time. The what to the how to the why. If the what is the seed, to me, the how is the trunk. What is the why? The why are the roots that grow deep. The why extends the branches in every direction. And I hope to one day think I can live under the shade of my why. And that is what we all have in common. We all live in a very big why. Because what we teach versus why we teach is not always the same. Now, I don't know about you, but when I first started teaching, my why was, oh my God, I get to be a teacher. How cool. Everybody's going to do what I say. Finally, because I've been doing what everybody else has been telling me to do for years. What was my why when I was young? Ooh, I get to be paid. Cool. I get to put some money in my account. That's a fun why. I get people to do my choreography. That's a big why. And when we're young, those become very important factors to why we teach. The title, nice to get paid, and for people to do our choreography. But does that really make us a teacher? And here lies the difference. When our why is something that is externally driven, I'm going to say that again. When my why is externally driven, the result of my why will not be what I'm ever looking for. Because at that point, my why is all about me, my title, my payment, my choreography. That's not a teacher. Teachers, we have a much more difficult job. Because it's not just about what we bring into the room. It's also about the energy that we bring into the room. It's also about how we connect, How do we relate? How do you actually engage somebody and make someone get excited about what you're bringing to the table? How do you get someone to want to participate when they're an introvert, when they're shy, when they're terrified on the inside to make a move in any direction? So when everything is directed through an external why, the result of what you're looking for isn't going to show up because the point of focus is already on the wrong place. If the focus is solely on you, then everybody else is not gaining. So we have to flip that script. The why needs to shift, no different than the why of my dancing. When I danced when I was young, I wanted it to all be about me. Of course, I wanted it to be all about me. I'm putting the time, I'm putting the effort, I'm bleeding my feet, bruising my knees, staying up late, doing my homework, taking a gazillion classes. Yes, I want it to be about me when I step on that stage. And then I remember coming off of a performance and being met by an individual, and he looked at me and he had tears in his eyes. And I was really caught off guard. And I was maybe about 15, 16 years old. And I didn't know why he was crying and why he was coming up to me and crying. All of it was a little alarming at the same time. And he looked at me and he said, "You have no idea how much you just changed my day." And he explained to me what he had gone through that day. He had just lost his job. He had just lost the love of his life. And he had come to this performance because a friend of his made him come. He didn't even want to come. And when he looked at me and he said, "You have no idea how much I needed you on that stage. I didn't even know I needed you in my life." That changed my why. And I realized, oh my God, this is actually not about me. This is about how do I move my audience? How do I take them out of their everyday monotony or madness or crisis? How do I get them out of that and for a moment find themselves transported somewhere else? The minute that changed, the minute my dance didn't become about me, now my dance became a purpose. Now my dancing actually had meaning. When I transitioned into becoming a teacher, it was the same thing. It was all about me. Very excited for people to do my chair choreography. Very excited to be the outside the box thinking teacher and put candles all the way around the Tremaine studio. And like, we're going to get moody today, guys. Meanwhile, I'm pretty sure the manager was like, "Please don't burn down the studio." And, you know, when you get so consumed and you're so excited, and that's the thing, we all have to start somewhere and we all have to start from a place of excitement. There has to be a real desire to what it is that we do and why we do it. If that why is not present, then how does purpose show up? And if purpose doesn't show up, then that becomes a paycheck. And how much does a paycheck actually fill your life? So when I see my kids and I see dancers and I see the ones that are the most talented, able to do my work, I can say 3 things and they just get it. But why are the rest really struggling? Like, I don't get it. Why aren't you guys getting it? And that's when I had my realization. I had my aha moment. Oh my God. I don't think I'm teaching. Wait a second. I don't think I'm actually helping. I'm so excited about showing what I came up with, what cool song to what cool move that's going to hit that one accent, that by the time that hit that accent when I show the dancers, the room's going to go, ooh. Or in today's world, slay. I am not going to go down that path, guys. But understanding what is my purpose when I walk into that room is everything about how am I going to walk? How do I feel when I walk out the room? So if I'm going in for the circus for the purpose of me, for my choreography to shine, for people to think I'm cool, to think, oh, what cool music you chose. If that's all I'm going in, then what am I really walking out with? And more importantly, what are my students walking out with? Changed my whole perspective when I realized I don't think I'm actually teaching. I don't think I've actually been helping. I keep showing you the same step, but somehow the step still is not showing up right. Being able to find your why do you teach, needs to be the thing that flips the script for you. It needs to be the point of origin that changes your whole need and want to be at the studio. Out of all the things in the world, when I grew up, the last thing I ever wanted to be was a teacher. Nowhere in the stratosphere of my growing up did I ever think I would ever be a teacher. All teachers to me were old. That's all they were to me. I'm like, oh, wow, yeah, okay. And sometimes a little mean, sometimes a little vicious. And then I have to think back, who were the best teachers of my life? The ones that push. The ones that push me out of my comfort zone. In ballet, or in any version of dance, it's exciting when a dancer hits a single pirouette. It's a hot mess, but it's very exciting. But then once you understand what a single is, you can't wait till you get to the what? Double. And that for whatever reason, that double is hard. It's so hard. Oh my God, it's crazy hard. And all I remember is always going to 1.5. And then somehow always falling out. Now, mind you, again, I was part of a conservatory, a ballet conservatory, and I was also a part of an apprentice program. So in my group, we would actually take a 3-hour ballet session, just us, and there were 20 of us for 3 hours before we even, and required 2 more additional ballet classes after our 3-hour session. 6 hours of ballet a day. Yeah, share that one with your kids. I'm like, I'm just trying to get through 45 minutes a week, guys. And there was a point where everybody else in my group was able to achieve the double pirouette except me. And finally, my teacher looked at me. She was like, Liz, she was from Czechoslovakia, why are you not doing the double? Well, Miss Rosalie, every time I do it, I get through 1.5 and then I fall out. That is an excuse. Not even an excuse, excuse. Show me. 20 girls. 10 here, 9 there, me there. And all of them in first position, hands behind their back. Here comes Liz. Okay, and I hit 5th position. I tendu, and I prepare, and I go for my 1.5. My 2, 1.5, and I fall out. Liz, do it again. Okay. Tendu, prepare. And my head is already telling me, you're not going to get past the 1.5. I'm already convinced myself I'm never going to get past the 1.5. Liz, the right arm. It looks so dead. More energy in the right arm. Again. I push and I'm falling even further. Now I feel the 19 girls. Again. Oh my God. Again. Okay. Again. And I'm doing it again and again and again. No leads. The supporting leg, no leads. The passe, no leads. The first position arms, no leads. Your spot, no leads. Not enough not enough plie, no leads. Again, 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 again. 40 minutes. And as you can tell, there was a point where fear turned into defeat. And now tears and slight snot is coming out. And of course, my teacher will look at me and she's like, no crying in ballet. Again. And just falling harder, not even making it past a single. She's like, Liz, the only thing in your way is you. Why? Why? I don't know why. I don't understand. I don't know why. She's like, yes, you do. I don't know why. Do it again. I don't want to do it again. Again. Please, Miss Rosalie, I don't want to do it anymore. Liz, two choices, now or out. And then, of course, it went from fear to defeat to now anger. Again. Okay. Stop. Stop. 1.5 ball. Again. Stop. Stop. Boom. Again. Miss Rosalie, please. No. Again. Dude, how long would you last in your classes with your kids today if you got even 5 minutes into that? Meanwhile, my mom is sitting right outside that door. And I am hoping and praying that she will come in and save in the day. Mind you, there were no cameras, there were no windows. It was a door with the little grid. And I knew my mother was on the other side because I could still hear. My mom loved to knit when I was taking class because she would knit my leg warmers and my bun warmers. And I'm waiting for my mom to come in, and she doesn't. And Miss Rosalie says, Liz, focus again. Shut. Shut. 1, 2, 3. Held. Shut. The girls in the line. I don't think I moved. I was just. And all my teacher did was walk by me. And all she said to me, I never want to hear you say you can't ever again. And she just moseyed on as if nothing had happened. I did 3. Changed my life. When I walked out of the class and my mom was standing there, hands behind her back because my mom is a very stoic human. My mom liked, by the way, finding teachers that were basically versions of herself. So there was a very real love-hate relationship with all my teachers. And she looked at me. She's like, well, Mom, did you see me? I did 3. I did see you do 3. And what was she just asking you to do? 2. And what did you keep saying that you couldn't do? I kept telling her that I can't. So what does this moment tell you? That I can? No. That you are more than what you think you can. Getting dancers to understand their purpose, their why, requires teachers to sometimes go to the uncomfortable places we don't want to go. Now, do I think for a moment that my teacher is mean? Yeah. Do I think that she is being like rigorous and strict? Of course, that's their job. Do I think for a second that my teacher hates me? Sometimes. But not for a second would I ever take back that moment. Not for a second would I ever been okay with it being with any other teacher. She changed me that day. She pushed me. And what's important is that she pushed me to see that I was more than I was willing to give myself credit for. And that's the thing about the why. The why is meant to determine your self-worth. Your why should be filling you up with worth every single day. But the question is, where is your worth coming from? Is it internal or external? And this goes for any part of life. Is it internal or is it external? So what could that mean? Well, if my life is externally driven, is my worth really based upon the external way the world sees me, then if I'm a competitive dancer, my worth is going to be based on how people talk to me. In other words, are you congratulating me? How many awards, how many trophies I win? How many scholarships? Where I'm being placed in a group? That's how you drive someone to value themselves externally. When we're actually should be teaching them to understand how to value themselves internally. Those 40 minutes, there's no trophy, there's no prize that can ever maximize that moment. There's no trophy to summarize what I went through, what I experienced, and how I made it happen. People look at a trophy when they go to competition and they put so much value to it. You know what they don't see when a trophy shows up? They don't see the amount of hours. They don't see what people give up. They don't see the sacrifices. They don't see when things got hard. Nobody understands what we put ourselves through as dancers, as teachers, as choreographers, as studio owners, except for the people that are in the experience of it. And that's just us. And the fact that we are willing to keep coming back over and over and over again, despite all of those things, no wonder people look at us and think that we're just a little special. Because you have to be. You have to be a little touched in the head. You have to be a little special to want to subject yourself the way that you do. Because that's what passion does. It lights you up differently than anybody else. You are willing to give up time with your friends. You are willing to give up time with your family. You thought you did that as dancers? Guess what? We still do that as teachers. And it grows exponentially if you're a studio owner. I am so sorry. And yet I am thankful. Every studio owner that wants to keep those doors open needs teachers that want to be there, needs teachers that love working with kids, that love kids. Love kids. I'm going to tell you what I tell every parent when I work with them. If you are a parent of a dancer, you will never win when your kid is living at home. You, the parent, will not win. They'll look at me like, what do you mean? I don't win. No, you're not going to win. You are going to have to deal with their stubbornness. You're going to have to deal with their resistance. You're going to have to deal with all the things that they're going to challenge you. They're going to say, it's not fair, Mom. They're going to say, why do we keep doing this? I'm bored. And parents are just frazzled. So no, you're not going to win. But you know where you do get to win? Because your kid has a love and a passion for dance. Your kid is willing to give up everything for this thing called dance. We as teachers are still willing to give up so much for what we do in dance. Studio owners, man, you guys give, it's like taking blood out of a turnip. Like, you've given more than what is necessary to keep the love of dance going. And all because something about dance made sense to us. So how do we keep circulating, and how do we redirect the why? The why, the purpose. For the parent, the win is never going to be, your why is not going to be when they are under your roof. Right now, your why is to teach every life lesson that you could possibly use while they are dancing. When they don't win, teach them how to win how to lose gracefully. If they don't win, teach them to celebrate how great it is that you did such a great job. I think you were awesome. But watch out. Next time I'm going to be coming for you. Why does the trophy have to create the value? Why is the post what gives you value? The why. The why. You know when a parent wins is when they take all the life lessons, all the hardships that are created from our experiences is what we flip and we hopefully turn into a life lesson that turns those people into great human beings, great future leaders, great future role models, great future teachers, doctors, lawyers, people that know how to do their job on a professional level, because that's what we teach our children to become, professionals. A professional someone, even a professional parent. We're taught to be professional, not take everything personal. But if we can't anchor our why, the thing that's supposed to give us substance to what we do, then we're just kind of floating around. Which is why sometimes there's a point where a teacher will get lost, get confused, get upset. Same thing with dancers. So until we get them to understand how to anchor their why and create an internal connection to their worth. Someone once taught me, when you do the internal's from the inside out. That makes my life limitless. I have no ceiling. I can be whoever I want to be because I know who I am, I know what I've created, and I know what I can offer. That's when internal worth goes from the inside out. When my worth is driven from the outside in, it becomes crushing. It becomes crushing and it becomes an addiction. The addiction to win. The addiction of accolades. The addiction of being put in the front and center. The expectation that I should be here because I've been here for so many years and I paid you for so many dollars and I've been doing so good. No. No. And the fact that you need that to make yourself feel valuable. Wow. That's a hard life. No wonder people are crazy on social media. How many influencers change their bodies for their followers? How many of them ask, should I stay with so-and-so? I'm sorry, were all those people part of the relationship? Were they there for all the moments? When we don't understand how to connect to our why, to our worth, I always think of it as being lost in the middle of the ocean. To me, my why, the root of the tree, the anchor, the thing that holds me strong, I need to get it to be so thick, so intense, so driven deep that nothing moves me. When I teach, I have no question of who I am. When I teach, I know exactly what I get to offer. When I go to interviews and I work with artists and I work with management teams and production companies, I'm telling them, I know exactly why you hired me, but more importantly, I'm going to tell you why I'm going to make the biggest difference in what you're doing right now. I need them to know that what I'm bringing is experience. What I'm bringing is wisdom. What I'm bringing is creativity. What I'm bringing is outside the box thinking, the willingness to try. Let me listen. Let's explore. Let's try to see where we can go. I am going to show you how we can take this production and make it $1 billion production. That is my job. That is my job. But if I have no idea what I have to offer, because I need other people to tell me what I'm good at, how am I supposed to step forward in my life? How do I get people to trust me? How do I get kids to trust that I'm going to teach them, grow them, advance them, make them feel things that they've never felt before, open up their minds, experience exploration? Because if all I'm looking for is for you to like me, and if you don't like me, then I guess I'm not a good teacher. What? If I can't get you to like me, what? It's not easy. It's not easy. Everybody wants to figure out how to fit in. I get it. I totally get it. Studio owners, raise your hands. How many other gazillion studio owners do you have in your office with you when you are dealing with issues? It is who? Who is dealing with it? Me, myself, and I. There's 3 in 1, and it's all in one body. And you're like, what do you think? I don't know. Should we do it this way? Guys, I think there is no other. It's just you. But in your head, guaranteed, there's like 3 versions of you. And one's going this way, one's going this way, and the other one's like, oh, please stop arguing. It is no wonder that we're all crazy in the best possible way. What makes us think that teachers don't think the same way? What makes us think that dancers don't think the same way? It will not matter how many people we're surrounded with, because when we go to bed, it is just you. When you wake up, it is just you. So if you don't understand your why, the thing that makes you want to wake up and get excited about your life, then what's your life? Best part of finding passion, and by far, do not dismiss this. Most people on this planet will never, ever know what it means to be passionate. Most people on this planet are just getting through their day. They are just surviving till the next paycheck. They are just getting through till the end of the day when they can fall asleep again. Until one day you realize, is this my last one? Is this when I close my eyes and not wake up again? I saw an Instagram reel with a gentleman, archaeologist, and he was with his mentor, a mentor of over 60 years. And he was by his side on his deathbed. And they were sharing stories, and he could see that he was in the process of transitioning. And then he said, words I never expected my mentor to ever tell me. He looked at me and he said, what if I did it all wrong? And then passed. What if I did it all wrong? That Instagram reel shook me. And it reminded me, I never want to live a moment of my life where I look back and question, did I do it all wrong? Did I live enough? Did I love enough? Was I passionate enough? Did I work enough? Did I make enough of a difference? Was it enough? Or am I just going day to day in the hopes of just surviving? We are one of the most blessed individuals on this planet. It is an 8.3 billion person planet. How many do you really think dance? When you go to convention, you competitions, you see a lot of people. That's not the world. It's just a lot of people in a room. It makes it look like it's a lot. You spread us across the world, we'll never touch fingers. There's not enough of us. And if you are lucky enough to love what you do, and you understand your why, and you understand your purpose, then we make the most of what we've got in front of us until we have nothing left to give. I am 55 years old, and I live a life of pure excitement. I live a life of pure passion. I am blessed to wake up and realize I have no end in front of me. The time it took to get me here, the experiences I had to go through, there was nothing easy about what I did. Nothing. Because nothing we do as dancers or as dance teachers or as studio owners or choreographers, there is nothing easy about what we do. We get criticized. Well, that's not a real job. What? Studio Dance World of the World. It's a in 2018, it was a $4.1 billion industry. Dance studios. 4.1 billion. That rivals the wedding industry. And you're telling me that this is not a real job? I'm sorry, what? This is not 1824. This is 2024. And yes, we actually do have a lot to give. Yes, we do have a lot to offer. And yes, it does cost to take class. Because what we bring to your kids is more than a tendu. It is more than a plie. We are teaching your children resilience. We are teaching your children to have pride, to have integrity, to stand up in the face of adversity. We are teaching them to deal. We're teaching them to grow. So what is your why? When was the last time you asked yourself, why do I do this? Everybody, I'm going to ask you to spell two things for me. Wow, I get very emotional when I speak. Give me a second. How are we doing so far? Stand up for a second. Y'all been sitting way too long. Come on. You are movers. Please move. I love when I ask dancers and teachers to stand up and they're like, let's stretch around. Roll your head, roll your hands, shake it out. Pick up. You can pick up on me, guys. We can lunge it out a little bit. I'm just saying. I'm 55. What is your why?
Because I enjoy working with children and making their lives better.
Now, don't fidget. Stand in a nice second position. No, second. There we go. Parallel. Parallel. Be comfortable. And go to that microphone. You can do this. Why do you teach? Don't clasp your hands. Don't. There you go. That's it. Just be you. There we go. Grab a hold.
I enjoy working with children and making their lives better and giving some pleasure to them and having them enjoy their lives and dancing.
Great. Say that one more time.
Oh, I don't remember what I said.
That's exactly right. That's okay. Just say what you feel. One more time. This time, don't close your eyes. And find me.
I enjoy working with children and making a difference in their lives.
1,000%. And what does that do for you?
It makes me happy.
How happy?
Very happy.
Even when they're being snotty?
Well, maybe not.
Do you still keep coming back?
Yes, I do. Because I want to make a difference in their life.
There it is. Because you what?
I want to make a difference in their life.
One more time?
I want to make a difference in their life.
Everybody say that with me. No, but that's exactly right. The fact, this is the thing. Absolutely. This is the situation. When you close your eyes, when you look away, when you clasp, you're holding back exactly what you are showing me right now. And that's vulnerability. There should be nothing wrong with you for a second saying, because I make a difference in someone's life. How many people can say that about people? And it's not one child, it's hundreds over the years. You will be able to look back on your life and go, I did it right. Because I changed people's lives. And those tears are exactly what you needed right now. We all need that. We all need a place to melt. If we can't melt, how do we receive? If we can't receive, what makes us want to keep coming back? You have to, this is a God's honest truth. Everybody, give me B plus. Somebody said, how are you going to top last year? Don't worry, I got you. I'll make you cry again and again. It's my job. Now do me a favor. You know who's really bad at bowing? Dancers. Have a seat. Dancers are horrible at bows. Yes or no? If you ask them to naturally bow, will you even get one? Or it's more like, off they go. You're like, was that a bow? I can't tell. What is so hard about the bow? Accepting what? If you can't be willing to receive, how do you fill yourself up? And if you can't fill yourself up, what happens when things are tearing you apart? If you're keeping yourself empty by not receiving, and now people are correcting you or you don't feel secure enough and you're tearing away, what are you going to be left with? And you wonder why kids quit. Protecting passion is probably one of the most important, valuable things that we can ever do as teachers, as parents, as adults, as influencers, as choreographers, as studio owners. Our job is to keep their passion lit. If they can't receive, who's the worst at receiving compliments? This whole community is really horrible at receiving compliments. Oh my God, that was so good. Oh, no. Yeah, okay, can we move on? Can we talk about something else? Why is it so hard for a human to receive, to accept? If the trophy is not what's giving us our value, then where do we receive it? When a teacher compliments you, my teacher, my ballet teacher, God rest her soul, Miss Rosalia. She was from the National Ballet of Czechoslovakia. My mom was from the National Ballet of Cuba, both communist countries. You can see where I'm going with this. Whew. My mom led with an iron fist. My teacher led with an iron stick. But the one thing she did teach me, amongst the many things of dance, was to make sure I understood how to receive. So she would ask me, whenever anyone comes to me, oh my God, Liz, that last class, I will grab their hands and look them straight in the eye. I'm like, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for that. I want them to know how much that compliment meant to me, not thanks, guys. Yes, I know, so fab. That's not the thank you I'm looking for. And that's not the, first of all, ew. Does not feel right at all. When we talk about the concept of worth, right? I say that there's two things that we have to watch out for. Everybody, when we think about the word whole, right? Whole. There's something missing in my life. There's a hole in my life. How do you spell that? Let's try that one more time. 5, 6, 7, 8. Right? There is a hole in my life. Now I want you to actually spell the word whole. The one that makes me feel complete. The one that makes me feel like I am who I am and I love who I am. And I can complete myself, my whole. How do you spell that? What's the one letter that separates one from the other? That W is your worth. When you know your worth, you are whole. WHOLE. I know who I am. I know what I teach. I know what I can offer. I know how I can change your life. I know how I can lead you. I know how I can help you. If I constantly need to fill the hole in my life, please tell me how good I am. Please tell me, am I good enough? Do you like me? Do you like my posts? Will I get the trophy? When there is a hole and you're trying to fill it up and the hole is just gaping, guess what? All of it falls out, which is why they need to fill it back up with more trophies, more scholarships, more likes, more followers. I would like to think that as teachers, we aim to be as whole, as complete as we possibly can when we walk in the room, so we can actually teach our children to learn how to actually become whole in their own lives, to understand their worth, to understand their value, to understand that what they bring to the table actually matters, that I can walk in class with purpose. When I know who I am and what I want to become, then I need to realize that my worth gives me every reason to fight for me. I'm going to fight for that double pirouette. I'm going to work those extra hours. I'm going to ask my teachers to help me. I'm a little confused. I'll ask the question. I'm okay if I don't look like I know anything, because I actually don't. But please help me. And then suddenly that person that raised their hand not only got the answer for themselves, they got the answer for 5, 10 more other kids. That made them a role model, that made them an actual hero in the class. And you actually helped others when you were just trying to help yourself. Discovering our why can't be the last thing we think about. It needs to become the first thing that we think about. And suddenly your why will answer everything you need. Does that make sense? How are we doing? So, of course, many of you know that I have my booth out there at success.dance. If you guys have any questions about what I do and the things that I do, please come. I'm happy to share with you what we're about, what we provide. But ultimately, like any other company that's here, we're here to help you and we're here to grow you. And we want nothing more than to see you guys succeed. Because the reality is this: when doors are open to dance, dance stays in life. And we need dance in this life. We need things that make people happy. We need things that make people light up. And the more that we understand how to bring that to the table, Imagine the audiences that you get to change, that you get to affect. And hopefully, with the love of dance or the word of dance, we actually get to spread a lot of great goodness in our world. And there's no more crucial time than right now to make a difference in our lives and to make a difference in this world. So I will close off with this class the way I did with my mock audition. Passion, when you break down the word, everybody spell the first 4 letters of the word passion. And that word says I. The last 2 letters are, when you live with passion, you actually get to pass the I on. Keep sharing your passion, but stay passionate to keep it going. Thank you very much, you guys. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. 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 Love you. Love you. Love you. Love you. Love you. Thank you so much, everybody.
I have your microphone, so I'll give you this one.
It might seem crazy what I'm about to say. Sunshine, she's here. You can take a break. I'm a hot air balloon that could go to space. With the air, like I don't care, baby, by the way. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Here come bad news talking this and that.